Election conspiracy theorist Dinesh D'Souza has publicly admitted that his film 2000 Mules was basically garbage.
Oh my God! He admitted!
Now, D'Souza quietly released a statement on his website specifically apologizing to one Mark Andrews, an Atlanta area man who sued after the film wrongly identified him as a so-called mule, repeatedly dropping off ballots. So this whole conspiracy theory is, oh, you see, the Democratic Party, they hired the mules to do illegal ballots, to stuff the drop boxes filled with illegal ballots. How many illegal ballots did they find? None. Okay. Now, he writes, as those who have seen the film or read the book know, 2000 Mules was based on cell phone geolocation data collected and reviewed by True the Vote. An analysis of this data revealed highly suspicious patterns of certain cell phones, which were recorded in the location of 10 or more drop boxes. This data was the premise of the film. Now, look, I've talked about this before. Just because you're in a location that happens to be near a ballot drop box does not mean that you were using the ballot drop box. Okay, especially illegally, that you're doing any kind of crime. It's like saying, like, you know that every time that you are near a bathroom, you must be using it. According to your geolocation data, you must be pissing a lot. No, not unless you have, like, a health issue. Okay. Now, of course, this is different than that, obviously, because film tried to make the argument that you being in that data, you know, having your geolocation data be near a Dropbox means that you are a mule and that you are helping to steal the election. Well, that's not true at all. Turns out a lot of these Dropboxes were actually near like other things, like stores or banks. I know, crazy that you would go there. Oh my God, that you would go to these different places. Oh my God. Oh my God. Now, he also said this, quote, during the production of my film, as a supplement to the geolocation data, True the Vote, notice how he's throwing True the Vote pretty much under the bus for all this, provided my team with ballot drop box surveillance footage that had been obtained through open records requests. While we were assured that the surveillance videos had been linked to geolocation cell phone data, such that each video depicted an individual who had made at least 10 visits to drop boxes. Indeed, it is clear from the interviews within the film itself that True the Vote was correlating the videos to geolocation data. We recently learned that surveillance videos used in the film may not have actually been correlated with the geolocation data. Oh, you see? You see, it was bad data. It is all True the Vote's fault. Really? Really? See, they gave me the bad data, and, you know, I just went and I didn't go and I really didn't look into it and do anything like that. No, I just went on with this wild conspiracy. But it's not my fault. Bad data. There's more. He said, I know that the film and my book create the impression that these individuals were mules that have been identified as suspect ballot harvesters based on their geo-tracked cell phone data. While these individuals' images were blurred and are unrecognizable, one of the individuals has since come forward publicly and has initiated a lawsuit over the use of this blurred image in the film and the book. I owe this individual, Mark Andrews, an apology. I now understand that the surveillance videos used in the film were characterized on the basis of inaccurate information provided to me and my team. If I had known then that the videos were not linked to geolocation data, I would have clarified and produced and edited the film differently. Now, without that, you wouldn't have had the film to begin with. That's it. There's no evidence of crime at all, or these mules, or voter fraud in the 2020 election, period. There was none of that. Okay? Not that this will convince any right-winger that there was no voter fraud in this case, right? They're wedded to that delusion, okay? And so you're not going to break them of that. And sadly, I'm actually seeing some Democrats now claiming that the 2024 election was stolen, rigged and stolen. No. There's no fraud, okay? Nobody stole the 2020 election. Nobody stole the 2024 election, all right? Now, if you want to point out things like gerrymandering, how that exists, and how that's a real problem, I will totally agree with you. Okay? Closing down polling places in minority areas, that's a problem. Totally agree with you. Okay? But nobody's hiring mules, nobody's stuffing ballots, nobody's stealing and throwing away votes. There's no evidence of any of that. So everybody just calm down, okay? With the election conspiracy theories. Now, it used to be only the purview of the right wing that's doing it. And Dinesh D'Souza is a really good example of that. Peddling conspiracy theories, election conspiracy theories for years until, oops, turns out, no, completely and utterly debunked. But it had been debunked before. What changed? The lawsuit, obviously. Being put on the spot, obviously. That's what stops all of these grifters with their conspiracy theories. That's what stopped Alex Jones with his conspiracy theories about Sandy Hook, right? You had people that decided to, oh, you're gonna accuse me of doing this? All right, let's go to court. Same thing now with Dinesh D'Souza, finally getting called out by his BS by one of the people actually impacted by being featured in his ridiculous film. Okay, so understand that that's what stopped these people. Okay, not the facts, not fact checkers coming out and saying, actually, this is wrong. No, it actually came from average people getting stuck in their propaganda films fighting back. So if you're looking for a method of resistance to disinformation, this seems to be the only one that is effective, right? Actually getting the people who are doing the disinformation or putting it out on the record in court, okay? And having to put out an apology afterwards and to say, oops, turns out I was completely and totally wrong and off base. No kidding. We knew that before. But again, I don't think MAGA is going to listen. They're not going to care. They still claim, oh, Donald Trump won 3 times. No, he won twice, which is 2 more than he should have. Okay, if we were a sane and just world. But he certainly didn't win 3 times. He lost in 2020. COVID, he couldn't govern his way out of a paper bag. And we ended up having a massive economic contraction during and after COVID as a result of all of that, as a result of a giant pandemic that he had didn't really have any control over, but also didn't do the basics to try to protect American citizens during that pandemic. And he suffered for it at the ballot box. And unfortunately, the high inflation and all the stuff that happened after the pandemic in the wake of it hurt Joe Biden. So, and Kamala Harris. So that's what happened in our elections. Sometimes you win it, sometimes you don't, okay? Sometimes elections just don't turn out the way that people would like. That doesn't mean that there's voter fraud, doesn't mean that it was stolen from you. It just means that, hey, maybe the parties ought to do better when it comes to policy and messaging. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, subscribe, hit the bell icon in order to get notified whenever a new video is released. And if you want to support independent, progressive media through this difficult time where it seems like everybody is shutting down, you can become a member on our YouTube page, you can become a subscriber on Facebook, or you can go to my Patreon. It's patreon.com/Jeff Waldorf. Thank you.